One of the questions I often get asked is negotiation a soft skill?
Yes it is. And if you just let me finish the pitch the way I planned it, things will be a lot more clear.
I'm Bob Bordone, a senior fellow at Harvard Law School, the founder and former director of Harvard Law School's Negotiation and Mediation Clinical Program, and a co-founder and principal of the Cambridge Negotiation Institute.
This is not your best pitch, darling.
I haven't even started the pitch.
In this video, I'm going to tell you what a soft skill is, why negotiation is a soft skill, why it's worthy of teaching and very teachable, and also, if you stick around, you'll learn 3 things that Serena Williams and I share in common. And let me tell you, it has absolutely nothing to do with tennis. First, what do we mean by soft skills? When people talk about these, they're referencing a set of interpersonal interactions that they think aren't susceptible to being taught.
Look at this filth.
Or even worse, aren't worthy of being taught.
It's disgusting.
Soft skills are the kinds of skills that can't be measured really easily.
These are not pints. Pints.
Skills like good communication, listening, empathy are often considered soft skills.
I'm sorry for not responding to like one text, David.
Because negotiation actually involves all of these, you need to be a good communicator.
I'm sorry you weren't more clear about ordering milk.
You need to know how to present your case. You need to be compelling to others. You need to be a good listener. You need to be empathic.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Well, because that's all about what negotiation is, then negotiation is a soft skill. Hard skills, on the other hand, are those that are thought to be more quantitative, more analytic in nature.
394.40, so I guess kind of closer to 4.
So economic and quantitative analysis are typically considered hard skills. You can often take a test and there are right and wrong answers when you're teaching hard skills.
But it was also wrong.
But here's what's interesting. Negotiation involves quantitative analysis too. Really great negotiators know how to crunch numbers quickly. They can talk about discount rates, and in complex negotiations, they build sophisticated models and decision trees.
You're acting like I've never done this before.
Part of the reason why I love negotiation is that it's where soft skills and hard skills meet, and you can't succeed without both of them. So let me debunk quickly some of the myths about soft skills and why they're wrong. First, people say that soft skills are less important than the kinds of hard skills you get in school. But you know what? Nothing could be farther from the truth on this.
I have never heard someone say so many wrong things, one after the other, consecutively in a row.
I've spent the better part of 20 years working with C-suite leaders, heads of universities, hospitals, law firms, government agencies, and let me tell you this. In many cases, folks get to these positions because of their achievement in their craft. Maybe it's research or publishing or product development. But here's the thing, none of these people succeed in these positions for very long without good soft skills. If they are not good at listening, if they are not empathic, if they don't communicate well, if they can't build relationships, they are in trouble.
Fundamental pillars of any successful business person is their ability to compromise.
There's so many examples of this. I'll share one with you. In the early 2000s, Larry Summers was named the president of Harvard University. Now, Larry Summers was one of the youngest people to ever get tenured at Harvard University. He was brilliant beyond all telling. But in a few short years, he received a vote of no confidence from the faculty and resigned from his post. What happened? President Summers was extremely strong on hard skills, analytics and planning and financing and economics, but he was pretty low on soft skills. He often came across as arrogant or a bad listener or not open to collaboration or dismissive of others. Being brilliant is great, but being brilliant without the soft skills of negotiation and listening and communication are basically going to make you a failed leader. Let me give you another example after 20 years of teaching at Harvard Law School. I mean, the people who end up as the very best attorneys are actually not the ones who had the best LSAT scores and the best grades in law school. Why? Because oftentimes they weren't really good communicators. I often found that students who learned negotiation skills, the so-called soft skills, were so much better at succeeding as lawyers.
I'm not a lawyer, but I am glad that my fashion pony is working.
One thing I've heard, and I mentioned this earlier, is that people say, well, but you can't really teach soft skills. And this is just completely untrue.
Incorrect.
Skills like negotiation or listening or communication are absolutely teachable. Because negotiation is like any human skill, whether it's like playing the piano or playing tennis. I mean, the reality is, right, is I'll never play tennis as well as Serena Williams. Why is that the case? Well, the woman just has a lot more natural talent than I do.
Yeah, you got that right.
But here's the thing. If I take some time to learn about the game of tennis, and when I play, I'm really self-reflective, and if I'm open to coaching, I will get better. None of you will ever want to play tennis with me. Here's a curious thing about Serena Williams though, and you don't need to know a lot about tennis to know this, but she's a woman who knows a ton about her game. She's incredibly intense in her practice. And you know what? She has a coach. And that's because she knows if she doesn't do those three things, she won't be as good as she could be. So my advice is whenever you're trying to succeed as a leader, whether you think you're super skilled naturally or not, learn soft skills. Learn as much as you can, in this case, about the topic of negotiation. When you practice skills of negotiation and influence, be mindful of your practice. Pay attention to what are the moves that seem to work and what doesn't work. And lastly, be open to coaching from peers, from colleagues, from supervisors, and if you can, actually get some professional training. So this is something that I do a lot in open enrollment workshops at the Cambridge Negotiation Institute. But you could also learn a whole lot by continuing to watch the videos that I'll be putting up here.
Oh my God, who hasn't, David?
To review, we talked about a number of things. First, what is a soft skill? For many people, it's a skill that's either not teachable or not worthy of teaching.
What number are we on?
2, is negotiation a soft skill? It absolutely is, but as we also said, it's also a hard skill. 3, can I improve? You absolutely can by doing 3 things: learning more about negotiation, being really self-reflective in your practice, and seeking out some coaching and education.
So you guys are just gonna stay behind and talk about me after I've left.
Lastly, if you want to learn more about negotiation, if you want to have a chance to do some practice and get some feedback, I offer Negotiation Essentials workshops at the Cambridge Negotiation Institute, so please check it out. And for more videos, click the next one right here.